Hello again, and welcome back to Legally Cited. This is Jesse, and I am back for another bonus video for you guys. I decided to take my lunch break a little bit early from work, and since I'm getting to work remotely today, I figured I'd use that lunch to check out the upcoming Microsoft Xbox Developer Direct, or whatever it's called here. We've known about this for at least a couple weeks now. We had the Switch kind of teaser trailer. I did a kind of my thoughts on that video that was released actually a week ago today. I think it was Thursday last week. So this week this is going to be more substantial. This isn't going to be a 2-minute teaser of anything. We already know that there's going to be at least probably 4 or 5 games that they're going to highlight. They're going to cover games that are coming out this year to PC, Xbox, and whatever else Xbox decides to release things on, because the more it looks like is, Microsoft is going to be, at least for one more generation, probably making consoles. But, really, with the whole "this is an Xbox" campaign, it really seems like it almost seems like Xbox is not fully committed 100%, but pretty damn close to being a third-party publisher developer. There's been talk about a Halo Master Chief Collection coming to possibly PS5 or the Switch 2. Again, I'm not really gonna speculate on those rumors, other than just to say I've heard a couple of them. Maybe a couple of other games might be also heading to those other systems. Who knows what's going to happen with Game Pass? But the thing is that it's really hard to say, and it's kind of one of these just really strange times in gaming where the landscape of things is going to change quite a bit. It reminds me of the GameCube days, right around early 2001, I believe it was, when I remember I was in class in college one day, and I read an article that said, "Oh yeah, by the way, that Dreamcast that you bought about probably less than a year ago, Sega's getting out of the hardware market, and they're becoming a third party." And, back then it was like 16-bit days. Sonic and Mario were bitter rivals. I mean, look at all the ads, and Sega does what Nintendo don't, and all the things going back and forth. Play it loud and Sega, all that kind of stuff. I highly recommend the book Console Wars if you haven't read it. They have it on Audible. They've probably got it on Bookshare. It's a really interesting, it's a really good book that kind of tells those 16-bit days where Sega was really trying to fight Nintendo. I've read it a couple times, but then you had the GameCube days, and I remember I got my GameCube, and Super Monkey Ball was one of the first games that I bought for it. It was a Sega game, and it was just so weird to see Sega on another console, let alone Nintendo. And then, my friend and my roommate at the time got the updated port of like Sonic Adventure DX, and it was so weird just seeing Sonic on a Nintendo console. And then you had other stuff going to Xbox, Shenmue 2, and what was the other one? Like Jet Set Radio Future, and just all kinds of stuff. So it was a weird time, and we're kind of seeing that again, where it's one thing to have Minecraft, because Minecraft did not start out as a Microsoft product. You had Mojang doing it. Microsoft bought them up, and they've been pretty lenient about putting Minecraft everywhere it was already going anyway, and then some. But to hear potentially that Halo, in I would say the original Xbox and even the Xbox 360 days, That would have been sacrilege, man, to have Halo go out to any other platform. I mean, they did have ports for Halo PC, and there was this ill-fated. It was Halo 2, but I think it was exclusive to Windows Vista, which was dumb because Vista was terrible and sucked hard. It was like Windows ME, the Revenge. God, those were bad. But yeah, so now, potentially, yeah, we can get stuff on Windows, we can get stuff on Xbox, but I'm curious if they're going to address any of that there. Like, yeah, we know the Switch 2 is out, but we want you to play anywhere. They've got the Game Pass, the Play Anywhere thing, both of which I really like. But I know that, a lot of long-time Microsoft devotees, shall we say, are kind of disappointed, to say the least, angry. You get the fanboy wars going, but well, we spent all this money building up our Xbox library and supporting the Xbox ecosystem, and now you're just going to be like, yeah, no, you can get all of our games anywhere else. Like I said, with the developing costs ballooning as they are, and layoffs and mergers, and you can't spend 5 years making a game all the time. You can't spend a gazillion dollars making each game all the time. You can still do AAA and put resources into it, but you have to be maybe a little bit more, I don't want to say frugal, but thoughtful going forward. Because clearly, a lot of these game companies right now, they don't really seem to be thinking about their employees. Like, well, we got to, bow down to our shareholders and milk everything for as much money as we can, and then when we're done with the developers, lay them off, throw them out, and get some new ones in at entry level pay and start all over again. But I think 2025, like I said, I think the dam is breaking, and I think that ultimately in the next year or two things are gonna have to change, and I think Microsoft is kind of doing the right thing in preparing for it. Like, I don't have any really console loyalty. The console wars, I don't care. If it's a good game, I'll want to play it. The problem is I know not everyone can afford every system, but that's the nice thing about everything going multi-platform, is you don't have to own 3 systems to get a lot of your exclusives, especially if you invest in a relatively decent gaming PC, because you have stuff from Microsoft coming, you've got some things from Sony. Nintendo is about the only one where, like, yeah, if you have a PC and a Nintendo system, you'll probably get 80 to 90% of the way there these days of being able to play kind of whatever you want. You might have to wait a little while, because you might get, especially like on the Sony side, where it goes to their PlayStation and then they'll port it to PC, 6 months, a year or more later. But even that might change, because look at how many, as I said, everything is so volatile right now. All these stories about these loads of live service games that Sony was once investing in. How many of those did they cancel recently? I don't even remember. Microsoft is kind of going through some weird stuff with like, I think there's hopefully coming out of it, because it sounds like, even with what they announced, we know there's a Fable coming, we know there's Perfect Dark, we know there's Avowed, we know there's Two Worlds 2, we know there's, I can't even remember, in addition to what we're probably going to see today. So, I don't know what we're gonna fully see, but it's just a weird time, and I think Microsoft, some of their hoarding of developers, shall we say, buying up all those developers over that few year period, I think is starting to pay off. We had a couple good games last year. Indie, I mean, granted they already had Bethesda, but um, Indie was a really well received title. We've got a lot of things coming this first half of the year. I mentioned Avowed, I believe that's next month. South of Midnight, which is they're expected to show. I wouldn't be surprised if they showed Avowed here. South of Midnight, that's that one kind of a third person game set in the bayou. It's kind of got this what would I even call it? Like fantastical type of story, but it's set in the deep south, the bayou and whatnot. That looked really cool. I'm curious to see more of that. Avowed, I'm curious to see that. Of course, we're going to see, we already know they said they're going to show some extended stuff for Doom the Dark Ages, which I am absolutely pumped for. Putting Doom in a kind of medieval setting, that sick ass shield blade thing. I can't wait to wield that thing. Combine that with like a super shotgun. Ooh, it's demon killing time. It's rip and tear time. And the best thing is, I'm hoping we'll get a release date for it, and I would hazard a guess to say it's probably going to be within the first half of the year, if I had to guess. I know yesterday or the day before, I've seen a couple of things where people were thinking it was going to be June 15th, or was it May or June 15th? I think it was, I don't remember, one of the two. But that wouldn't surprise me because, Doom 2016, I think, came out in May. Doom Eternal came out in March. So yeah, the first half of especially if they have things like Fable or something big later this year, yeah, that could very well be possible. You never know. But I know we've only seen a very, very little bit of footage from it. But even just then, like, I don't know, it doesn't seem like maybe they're going to focus as much on the weird, I called it kind of Mario platforming. You got the jumping and the swinging on poles and fire rods, and it was just kind of a weird thing. I mean, it was something unique, but I think they're trying something even a little bit different. Because it's weird, because some people really loved Doom Eternal compared to 2016, and some people still prefer 2016. And it's so funny because the Doom Eternal loyalists seem to hate when someone says they prefer 2016 because they're just saying, oh, you're bad at the game because you don't know how to fight the Marauder. Or you're just bad at the game because you don't know how to switch the weapons. No. Granted, I'm not great at fighting the Marauder, but it's a neat thing. I didn't really like as much of the focus on platforming. You had a bit of that in 2016 for sure. But there was a lot more of it. There was a lot more kind of platforming challenges and things off in the distance, especially with my vision, where it's like, oh, I didn't realize I could actually jump and make it to that, and I okay, you jump over here, and at least the climbing textures you could kind of see, like, oh, okay, that's a surface that you can climb. They textured those in a couple of different ways. That was good. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what this Doom the Dark Ages is. And the other best thing about this is I'm single now, and I won't have anyone to break up with me and kind of ruin the release date of Doom the Dark Ages, because yeah, literally we were both looking forward to Doom Eternal, and yeah, release date that's the day I got dumped. So I kind of had Doom Eternal ruined for me. I enjoyed it, what I played, but I've just never been able to go back to it like I can other Doom games. I mean, I love the original. I love Doom and Doom 2. I love 2016. And, again, there's some mechanical problems that I had with Doom Eternal. Like I said, especially being able to see where to go. And, I did have some trouble with the Marauder. But, that's something I can learn to fight. But it was a lot of some of the traversal and navigation platforming, figuring out where I was supposed to go. Because it was a beautiful looking game. And it ran great, even on my old rig. But it's just one of those things where it's just you overlook some stupid little thing of where you're supposed to go. But yeah, the breakup, getting dumped didn't help either. So yeah, nothing like that's gonna happen for Doom: The Dark Ages. That is definitely one of my most anticipated games of the year because id really never fails. They're making good stuff over there. As far as accessibility goes, I don't know. If I were a betting man, I would not put any money down on it being totally blind playable. I would absolutely love to be wrong, but I just don't see it happening. They might have some, like even in Eternal, I think they had an accessibility menu, but there wasn't a ton there for low vision from what I remember. I mean, yeah, you could remap controls and you had audio sliders and things like that, but for visual stuff, I don't remember there being a lot there. They absolutely could have added more to the Dark Ages, but I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. And I don't know if they'll announce anything ahead of time, even a few weeks out now. I don't know if they'll say, hey, yeah, here's our accessibility features for Doom. 9 minutes. A little over 9, almost 9 minutes. I'm sure I'll be able to play it, at least, to some degree. I've been able to play the other games. I know my PC can handle it. That is, if they don't do the stupid, whatchamacallit thing. The stupid texture compiler thing that just completely freaks my UPS out. That still makes me mad. But Indiana Jones didn't, so, if they're using a similar engine, one can hope we'll be okay. Yeah, Doom: The Dark Ages, very high on my anticipated list. Avowed, it's this first-person RPG, kind of seems to be really focused on sort of magic stuff, if I understand correctly. I really genuinely want to learn more about it because I'm not entirely sure. So it'd be nice to get some maybe extended gameplay footage of that. Again, South of Midnight, I think they said that's going to be there already. I don't know if we might get a release date for it. I don't know. I could see that being a good summer game. I could see that being like a July-August game. I could see that working really well. They did say there was going to be at least a or several surprises, and one of them they were trying to hype up maybe some well-known franchise from Japan. So I don't know what that could be. I don't know if they're thinking like a Japanese RPG, or if they're thinking some action type of thing. You got Capcom, they're on fire. They're making, Monster Hunter and Resident Evils and all, Street Fighters and all these different things. So Could it be a Capcom thing? I don't know, maybe. I mean, it's, I guess, been a couple years since Resident Evil 8. Um, could be. I don't know what the status of, like the Final Fantasy remakes. They've been on Sony for a while. I think the newest one is coming to PC or shortly, or was just out. I don't know. I've never gotten around to playing either of them. I don't know if there's something with Persona. I'm trying to think what other Japanese. It would be really funny if they came out of left field and went, yeah, Shenmue. Yeah, Shenmue 4. I highly, highly, highly doubt it. But it would be really, that would be a surprise. But yeah, I don't know what else it would be. I don't think we're gonna get anything on Perfect Dark. I don't think we're gonna get anything on Fable, although both of which I'm very, very much wanting to know more. I'm thinking that's going to be a Summer Game Fest thing, especially if they're looking at a fall release for some of those games. I mean, a lot of people are assuming that Fable could be a 2025 game. Perfect Dark probably isn't. I could see that being a 2026 game. I could be wrong. But either way, that's not really such a bad thing because, again, we seem pretty stacked. Microsoft, for a while we kind of had this, especially if you're looking at AAA, Microsoft sort of had a drought for quite a while. They had a few good indies. And then they were dumb and closed a couple of the studios, especially with Hi-Fi Rush. Like, we need more smaller games that are good. And then we get Hi-Fi Rush, and then they're dumb and close it down. Not one of their brighter moments, in my opinion. But we haven't heard anything about a Forza. We had Forza Motorsport. Now that'll probably go to a Forza Horizon because they like to alternate those. So who knows if one of those will be this fall. And I'm very, very curious to see if they expand. Because if they just follow the driving line, I could totally... God, a Forza Horizon game that would be blind accessible... Good Lord, that would be fan-frickin-tastic. Because they had remember in the last Forza Horizon game, they had where, like, it just kind of clung to the road, but it wasn't fully there. If they expand and they put all those features and customizations that they put in the last Forza Motorsport into Horizon, I would be pretty intrigued about that. Be a lot easier to get through the open world and choose events, and God, that'd be wonderful. And if they did, I would love to see like a, I don't know, thing under the accessibility menu or something in the thing somewhere. Have a nice tribute to Brandon. Have a tribute to Super Blind Man, because he was one of the main contributors to whatever the team did when working with him, and the amount of customization and attention to detail that was in that was kind of mind-blowing. I mean, yes, especially if you're new to gaming, it can definitely be overwhelming. There is absolutely a learning curve to it. I've had a few blind friends try it, and especially a couple that are not really into gaming, and they were just like, this is really cool, but I don't know if this is for me because this is a lot. I'm like, yeah, you might want to try, if you want to get into gaming and really try it, you might want to try something a little more entry level, a little more streamlined, because there's a lot to take in, whether it's customization, audio cues, beeps, and voiceover prompts, and just so many shenanigans that, yeah, I mean, even for me, there was a lot to it. And if I went back, I haven't played Forza in a long time, so I would probably have to brush up myself because I don't remember everything anymore. But we are just under 2 minutes away, so I'm going to crank the volume up on this video here. And we're going to full screen it. Now, this is the audio described version, so it's going to be interesting for me to try to talk between the audio description. I will leave a link in the description of this video below if you want to watch the audio description version without my babble over it. But again, you know, everyone's sort of doing their kind of watch over thing, their watch party thing, so you know what, I'll take the lunch break, and why don't I, you know, I'm going to do it too, because again, there's some games that I'm very excited about. I mentioned some of them already. Avowed and South of Heaven, or was it South of Midnight, I think. No, South of Heaven, that's a Slayer song, right? And of course, Doom of the Dark Ages. Ooh, I can't wait. I need to see more of that frickin' spiky, metal as hell Captain America boomerang blade shield. Oh, so good. I want to know like how he got into this sort of alternate, you know, not, I mean, maybe there's some sci-fi to it, but like, you know, you're getting this sort of more medieval vibe to it, so I need to know. Ooh, less than 30 seconds, you guys. I'm pretty excited. Please deliver, Microsoft. Do good. Do well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Text appears. All games you are about to see are in development and do not represent final products. All games are available on day one with Game Pass.
Yeah.
All games support Xbox Play Anywhere and Xbox Cloud Gaming. Buy once, play on Xbox consoles and Xbox app on PC with cross-saves and cross-progression. Enjoy the show. Text, US and Canada rating pending to mature 17+.
Shout out to Janissary.
IARC and others 18+.
Awesome.
On a sunny sidewalk, a small group of people walks toward a building. In flashes, various groups walk in through glass doors, through hallways, and into offices. Red line art appears for the Doomslayer and a Mancubus. Text, 4 games.
Okay.
An array of developers sit at workstations, gather in a conference room, and walk past a display case full of statues.
4 games featured. 4
Green line art drawings depict Hazel walking with her head held high. Text, 4 studios, straight from the devs to you.
Yeah.
A musician plays a double keyboard. A voice actor snarls into a microphone.
To you.
In a hallway with a huge Doom mural, a man juggles multicolored clubs. A concept art collage takes up a wall. An explosion blooms on a computer screen.
Don't know how long this is going to be.
Smile into the camera.
Half hour, 40 minutes.
A marker sketch for the Xbox logo appears. A cursor types out the title, Developer Direct 25. Logos appear for id Software, Compulsion Games, Sandfall Interactive, and Xbox Game Studios Publishing. The Xbox Game logo enlarges to eclipse the others. A storm rages over a roiling gray ocean. Lightning strikes a cresting wave. Rain and clouds streak past, growing lighter and thinner.
Almost looks like the Team Ninja opening.
Jut toward a red sky. Logo for Team Ninja.
That is, I was right. Ooh, are we getting a Ninja Gaiden? That would be sweet.
Walk into a sleek glass building. One crosses a sky bridge. A man with wavy black hair looks up.
I didn't even think of Ninja Gaiden.
Producer and head of Team Ninja.
This could be the Japanese
Hello,
one.
this is Fumiko Yasuda from Team Ninja at Koei Tecmo Games. I am pleased to announce exciting news about one of our flagship action series. Without further ado, please take a look.
Logo for Koei Tecmo. Rain falls on a dark, grimy
Oh, is this
street.
gonna
Trash
be-
is piled before graffiti-covered walls.
Is this going to be
Several years
Dynasty
ago,
Warriors?
The Dark Dragon, youngest of the divine dragon gods, wreaked havoc across the world. The plot was ultimately thwarted through the efforts of a sole ninja.
Corpses.
However, the Dark Dragon's husk remained, and from
This
this
is going to be Ninja
fell an
Gaiden.
endless downpour of cursed rain. The abandoned Tokyo continues its struggle against chaos to
Fuck
this day.
yes.
Infiltrated the facility. Commencing mission.
Logo for
Oh,
Platinum Games Inc.
Platinum.
The ninja is clad in all black with a full face mask. A train platform speeds through a dark tunnel. On it, the ninja shreds through enemies. Gameplay,
Yes.
third-person fighter.
This looks sick.
He swings from a grappling hook.
No escape.
Wielding twin swords, he pounces from above and stabs an enemy's neck in a shower of blood. Later, he parries and slashes at a small group.
Blood everywhere.
Japanese characters appear in midair as he performs finishers. In an arena, a holographic wall is emblazoned with text, Divine Dragon Order.
Woohoo.
The ninja duels a mechanical white warrior twice his size. He charges up his sword, and blood pours from the enlarged blade. The
Hell
ninja
yeah,
runs
this looks
the
so
warrior
good.
through.
All gameplay.
A
All
woman with short
gameplay.
white hair wears a blindfold. She twirls in an arena, trailing a white foxtail. The ninja vaults upward to dodge her
Ooh, you get a
projectile
blind
attacks.
ninja chick.
This is it.
He leaps upward to stab down through her skull.
Oh,
Ryu Hayabusa.
The ninja slashes in an aerial attack.
different voice actor.
It ends here.
He leaps between opposing walls, platforming upward. Later, he slices the limbs off a spindly demon.
Oh, I'm playing the hell out of this.
So you've come, Raven.
Back off, Hayabusa. I will execute my
I didn't even think of Ninja
A title
Gaiden as a
appears,
Japanese.
Ninja Gaiden 4. An action figure is shown. Subtitles.
To all the master ninja around the world, after more than 10 years, the wait is finally over. We are excited to announce Ninja Gaiden 4, a new mainline entry in this high-speed action series, where you become the ultimate ninja and take on relentless enemies in fierce combat. Ninja Gaiden 4 is a collaboration between Team Ninja and Platinum Games. The action bona fides of Platinum Games need no introduction and include great action games such as
Do we get a
Bayonetta
release
and
date?
Nier Automata. To mark Ninja Gaiden 4's arrival after more than a decade, we are crafting an adventure with a new Master Ninja protagonist, Yakumo. Set in a fresh
Oh.
world where players can immerse themselves in a brand new experience.
Another armored ninja has bare shoulders and biceps. Subtitles.
The trailer you just saw also featured Ryu Hayabusa, who will play a pivotal role in the story.
Okay. So you don't play as
Ryu's
Ryu.
motives will be revealed as the story unfolds and leads him to clash with Yakumo.
Subtitles for Yakumo.
Back off, Hayabusa. I'll execute my mission.
Subtitles for Yuji Nako.
The story takes place in Tokyo, which has been devastated by the reign of dark rot, caused by the Dark Dragon. This reign signals that the Dark Dragon is still alive and peace will not return to Tokyo until the reign comes to an end.
And that would definitely be Steve Saylor
The
doing the
foxtail
male
woman
commentary.
leaps up to slam the ground.
Recognize him.
Subtitles.
Our new hero Yakumo, a young ninja from the Raven clan, a rival of the Hayabusa clan, dives into the battle in the capital Tokyo to defeat the Dark Dragon and bring peace to the world.
Subtitles for Yudai
This looks sick.
Abe, level design and environment lead.
We are preserving the dark, hardcore atmosphere of the series.
And the brutal
With
difficulty.
curses and chaotic landscapes, the world evokes a heightened sense of danger at every turn. Over the course of the game, the city will succumb to the curse, causing buildings to collapse and roads to warp, creating dangerous situations.
He's like grinding on rails and
Tokyo
stuff.
has been completely devastated by a certain incident and is flooded with fiends and adversaries, making you feel that the whole world is baring its fangs against you.
Yakumo glides along a rail.
Dude.
Subtitles.
The environments feature enhanced verticality. Yakumo will use ninja techniques, tools, and familiar combat skills to overcome.
I knew he had a
thrilling
grappling
challenges.
hook earlier on.
We have added many dynamic and exhilarating situations where Yakumo will traverse by rail and swing across gaps, heightening the thrill of the
Yep,
game's
there I saw it
movement.
there, I think.
There are various scenarios, challenges, and hidden items waiting to be discovered.
Is
In a
it going to
dark
be
alley,
level-based or
Yakumo
open
opens a treasure
world,
chest.
or
Later, a massive bulkhead door glides
how does
open.
this work?
Subtitles for Tomoko Nishi, art director. The protagonist, Yakumo, is following in Ryu Hayabusa's footsteps to become a master ninja. He is still young, but is a genius ninja carrying the weight of the Raven Clan's honor. We have designed him to be someone who can stand alongside Ryu, the pinnacle of what it means to be a ninja, and a potential master ninja of the next generation.
I wonder if you get to
An
play
armored
as
enemy
both,
draws their sword.
and if they
Subtitles.
play differently.
Standing in the way of Yakumo are the Divine Dragon Order, the organization responsible for policing this desolate version of Tokyo and guarding the seal of the Dark Dragon and a horde of demons lurking throughout the world. Of course, the fiends also make their return.
Oh, those are, yeah, I remember them.
While we can't reveal details at this time, there will be brand new characters, as well as some familiar ones, that series fans will be happy to see.
Is this going to be a
Stay tuned
fall
for future
game?
announcements. Subtitles for Yuji.
Ninja Gaiden 4 heightens the speed of battle with combat against enemies occurring at breakneck speed.
Yakumo
Yes,
flashes
this
through
game was
rapid-fire
always
sword
fast.
flashes.
I did a video for Ninja Gaiden 1, I think.
Yakumo can use the new Bloodbind Nujutsu New style to unleash dynamic attacks, opening
Yeah, I
up
think
new
I did an
ways to take
Xbox
on
video on
multiple
that.
enemies at once.
And I just picked up the
Your
Ninja
style
Gaiden trilogy
features
on
wide
Steam.
range, instant kill attacks never before seen in a Ninja Gaiden game. Players can use these attacks to quickly reverse the tide of combat when vastly outnumbered. Of course, there are also intense 1v1 battles.
Yeah, those are cool.
Enemies guard and block just like the player, leading to intense and fair combat scenarios.
Yeah.
Players will need to keep a close eye on enemies' movements and assess the perfect time to strike. This new style brings an exciting evolution to the action of Ninja Gaiden.
Yakumo performs an aerial finisher. Subtitles for Masakazu Hirayama, director.
When it comes to action, we closely discuss
Wow, they're putting a
every
lot-
detail,
they're
such as
showing a lot of
feel and
this.
balance on a daily basis. The new protagonist Yakumo has a slightly different combat style from Ryu, but we are confident the action will feel right at home in the Ninja Gaiden series.
Okay. Kind of
What
answers my
distinguishes
question.
Yakumo are his two combat styles, Raven style and New style, which can be used strategically to take on specific enemies and situations. Returning obliteration and the ultimate techniques are also part of the dynamic and speedy combat, and are key tools in Yakumo's arsenal. Yakumo and Ryu both offer unique gameplay styles, giving players a limitless variety when battling enemies.
Yakumo grabs and slams an enemy head first. Subtitles.
Both characters can perform legacy abilities like the
Yes,
Flying
you can
Swallow
play as
and
both.
Azuna Drop, as well as all new
Sweet.
unique movesets that we hope you look forward to in this new Ninja
I wonder if
Gaiden.
it'll just be certain chapters, or if you'll eventually be able to switch
Subtitles.
at any
We are
time.
staying true to the challenge and deep action that defines the Ninja Gaiden series, while incorporating the speed and dynamic expression of Platinum Games. We are putting all our efforts into making this a true mainline sequel that continues to evolve the series. Our aim is to deliver a fair, engaging combat experience where players experience the thrills of battling relentless enemies. I can't wait for you to get your hands on this new entry to the Ninja
I
Gaiden
can't wait to
series.
play it
This
either.
game will delight both series fans and newcomers alike.
And it's going to be on Game Pass?
Please look forward
Frickin'
to the
A.
game's launch.
Fumihiko.
When?
It has been many years since we stealthily, like ninjas, teamed up with Platinum Games to begin creating Ninja Gaiden 4. We are so happy to finally be able to share it with you. We look forward to delivering it to you in fall 2025. Please stay tuned for further information.
Wait, did he
Title for Ninja Gaiden 4 appears, then glitches
did
away.
he say more information in fall, or the launch at fall 20? I'll have to look at that again
There's
later.
one more thing we are excited to announce. Take a
Uh-oh.
look.
Logo for Koei Tecmo.
Now I know
Team
there was a
Ninja.
2D
Dual gold dragon sculptures
Ninja
sit atop twin
Ninja Gaiden
skyscrapers. City lights twinkle in the darkness
at
below.
the Game
Ryu
Awards
Hayabusa
last
stands,
month.
balancing atop a sphere at the apex of one of the sculptures.
Are we getting
Logo for
remasters?
Unreal Engine. He leaps, rolls
Oh,
down a slanted
shit.
roof, then skydives off the edge. Later, a throwing star pierces an enemy's face. Gameplay, third-person fighter.
Are we
Ryu
getting-
teleports while performing a bloody combo in a sunlit courtyard.
It's just like,
He dashes along a sky bridge as it collapses. Later, he strides along a massive stretch of earth shot through.
are we
with
getting an
cracks
Unreal
of lava.
5
My path leads to the land of
remaster?
the dead.
He slides down an incline, wall runs, then leaps up alternating walls. An array of fiends snarl.
Damn. Okay.
The sun sets on the Dragon Ninja bloodline.
The greater fiend Alexei gores Ryu, then calls down a lightning strike.
Genshin, go back to hell.
All paths before me are cruel and arduous. Our time has come.
A title appears from two glowing red slashes, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. Subtitles
Oh.
for Fumihiko.
Ninja Gaiden 2 was first released on Xbox
Okay.
360 in 2008 and garnered acclaim for its violence and high-speed battles.
It was a good one.
Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is the definitive edition of the game, honoring the style of the original with significantly revamped graphics using Unreal Engine 5.
Oh.
In addition to the lush visuals, players can enjoy playing as Ayane, Omiji, and Rachel, alongside Ryu Hayabusa. And we're excited to announce that you can download it on console, PC, and Xbox Game Pass today.
Damn.
Hope you enjoy
Okay.
Ninja Gaiden 2 Black while waiting for Ninja Gaiden 4. We are happy to
Sweet.
deliver this to the fans that have been dedicated to Ninja Gaiden over the years, as well as to newcomers of the series.
Wow.
This year marks the 30th anniversary of the founding of Team Ninja. And with Ninja Gaiden 4's release this year, 2025 will be the year of the ninja. We hope you are excited
Okay.
to see how this series evolves. Thank you very much.
Holy shit, we get
Title
3 Ninja
appears,
Gaiden
Ninja Gaiden
games.
4, available on Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S, PC, PS5 in fall 2025.
Yeah.
Handwriting appears, and bonus, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, play today.
Today.
On the Developer Direct page, Compulsion
Nice
Games is
shadow
circled.
drop.
Character art and gameplay flashes past, showcasing Hazel, a young black woman with her hair in 2 long braids.
Okay, South of Heaven, or South of Midnight, I can tell already, yep. Just the music
A
alone.
redheaded white woman wears a denim jacket. Whitney Clayton, art director.
I want to know more
Hi,
about
and welcome
this.
to Compulsion Games here in Montreal, Canada. At our studio, we care about world building, and we treat the setting almost like a character
The
of its
soundtrack
own.
is going to be so good.
From the magical noir of contrast to the alternate history of We Happy Few, we draw inspiration from the landscape to shape mood, drama, and intrigue. For South of Midnight, our third-person action-adventure game,
South of
the
Midnight,
story
yeah.
and
I
characters
keep thinking
bring a
South of
folklore
Heaven.
Deep South to life. This gave us a chance to explore Southern Gothic themes with a dark fantasy twist. So while our protagonist Hazel is at the forefront of our story, it's the macabre elements and larger-than-life creatures that will leave a mark on her journey and growth.
A huge
Some
gator
gnarly-
has several trees affixed to its back. A storm rages outside a stilt house.
It is really picking up out there. Did you pack everything?
Mama, this ain't my first hurricane. I know what to do.
As long as you didn't forget the...
Flashlights and batteries.
Oh, shit, we got 5 minutes. Let's go.
Won't be rushed if you didn't.
Don't mumble. Speak on it.
I said we wouldn't be rushed if you didn't waste all that time at the shelter.
Now, you want to bring this up right now.
I'm just saying.
Hazel, please.
We might need some help. I might need some help. While you're out helping everybody else.
Hazel!
Hazel leaves. Later, the stilt house collapses and
Ooh.
is swept away.
I've never understood stilt houses. That just seems like an
Adrian
accident
Ray,
waiting to
voice
happen.
and mocap actress.
Hazel may start her journey as a typical 19-year-old, but disastrous events will push her into a darkly magical world where she'll learn who she really is and how to tap into weaving. An ancient magical power that redefines her trajectory in life.
Come
Farah
on.
Brixey, associate narrative director.
The land itself chooses Hazel as a weaver. Someone who can see beyond the surface and tap into a deeper reality, the grand tapestry. Weavers can see the fabric binding our worlds, connecting people, nature, and echoes of the past.
Keep those hands to yourself.
Hazel can perceive both the mystical strands and stigmas in the world. Through her newfound power, she reweaves these stigmas and mends the afflicted creatures she
Showing
encounters.
a fair bit of gameplay.
As Hazel discovers her power, the world gradually shifts into the surreal, revealing that creatures from the old folktales actually exist.
You up here, my salvation.
Among them is good old Catfish, the storyteller who becomes both the guide and companion to Hazel across the game.
It ain't every day I hear about a new weaver such as yourself. Would you kindly do your weavy thing and help me down?
Yasmin Roy, game director.
Meeting Catfish marks the true beginning of Hazel's journey. All of Hazel's arsenal and powers are designed around textile crafting and traditional spinning wheels. Her weapons include a spindle, 2 weaving hooks, and a distaff. Her magic abilities manifest with supernatural lace-like patterns, blending the traditional craft with mystical elements. Hazel engages with the world through a variety of movement abilities. Those abilities also help Hazel progress on a journey.
As her journey unfolds,
3D wall
Hazel
running
will
and
master
platforming.
new weaving abilities, using them to traverse the world, conjure objects, and confront adversaries.
Combat is about understanding and adapting to different enemy archetypes known as Aints, the manifestations of corruption Hazel encounters.
These Haints trap Hazel in combat until she unravels them, destroying them in the process.
Hazel performs a finisher.
Each Aint has its own unique moveset, strengths, and weaknesses that you'll need to learn and adapt to. For example, the slug burrows on the ground and unleashes devastating strikes from afar, while the Ravager closes the distance with chilling speed. Hazel can counter these threats with agile melee abilities to execute powerful combos.
Yeah, combat looks pretty fast.
And charge attacks. But close combat is risky and can backfire because Aints have powerful defensive abilities. Mastering your magical skills becomes the key to gaining the upper hand in combat. Push, pull, and weave are some of the spells at your disposal that give you a tactical advantage during a fight. Timing is everything. Pull distant enemies close
So a
to
Deep
start melee
South
combos,
Star Wars force
push them back
powers,
to
got it.
interrupt and stun their attack. Then press the advantage with follow-up strikes. Spells interact uniquely with each enemy type, creating dynamic combat scenarios, especially when facing multiple types of opponents at the same time. Once near death, enemies can be unraveled, breaking their core and setting them free of their corruption, which has the added benefit of providing health boosts and reducing ability cooldowns. If you play your combos right, you can enhance Hazel's combat readiness and keep on chaining her abilities. As Hazel progresses in the game, she unlocks new moves and improved abilities, and you'll have to decide
Dark
which areas to prioritize.
Menu contrast, dark mode,
The
kind of a
upgrades
deal.
will
That's
change how
good.
you approach combat, like enhancing area of effect attacks, or refining push and pull skills to improve precision and make them feel more rewarding. The combat system is fast and responsive, built around chaining attacks, landing precise strikes, and unraveling enemies.
At a market stall. You mind if I take a look around?
You can see every place old Molly terrorized and more. Now for the low, low price of $1.
In Hazel's search for her mother, you'll explore multiple regions, each ruled by a mythical creature with their own Southern Gothic history. You'll gradually uncover the backstories of these beings, once human or animal, who were transformed by tragedy, their secrets waiting to be discovered. As
Some
a
pretty
weaver,
gnarly
Hazel
creatures.
heals these creatures by collecting fragments of haunted memories. We call these echoes, which reveal each creature's past. Hazel must experience these echoes before she can mend them.
What kind of person would do that to someone?
We design each region to reflect the creature that's been doomed to wander it. From the atmospheric environment to unique music themes composed for each one. While not all encounters lead to direct combat, Hazel will need to face mythical creatures in epic confrontation before she can heal them. Our boss encounters and gameplay sequences also reflects the uniqueness
Some
of
big
each
uns.
creature. with distinct mechanics that center around a specific thematic.
Good lord, those things are huge.
These encounters feature multiple phases that ramp up in complexity. As the encounters progress, the musical theme builds up, cranking the tension alongside the fight. Whether it's Two-Toed Tom or hugging Molly, each of these larger-than-life creatures is inspired by Southern folklore and lead to climactic battles.
A ghost leads two others.
We got a
Good
long
lord.
journey ahead.
South of Midnight unfolds as a hero's journey, and as Hazel, you'll travel through a tapestry of Southern-inspired landscapes. From abysmal swamps to flooded farmlands to the Appalachian peaks.
Okay.
In our magical South,
It looks
decaying
really
buildings
good. I mean, it's a
reclaimed by
really
nature
nice art
stand
style.
moments away from a hungry Rugal. And as Hazel delves deeper, reality bends ever more toward the fantastical.
The history, landscape, and folklore of the American Deep South fill our world, and our team has infused the game with thoughtful details and environmental storytelling, like our bottle trees and haint blue porches, which are said to ward off evil spirits. The Way to the Past emerges as central themes, which you can see through old abandoned buildings and businesses struggling to survive. As you explore, you'll meet locals who stayed behind even in the face of a hurricane.
So I'm the last person left here. All those damn haints. This part of the river's filthy with them.
Artistically, we're staying true to our Moody Compulsion signature style. But this time, we're using a handcrafted approach inspired by stop-motion animation, which allows our team to bring a distinct personality and tone into every prop and character.
It looks
Because
cool.
this folklore is open to visual interpretation, we embrace the freedom to reimagine these creatures and their stories, to adapt how they look, and to craft our own version of a fantastical Deep South.
The catfish hangs from a tree, his whiskers trailing. In a montage, Hazel sprints, weaves, and watches ghost echoes.
At Compulsion Games, we love to craft around central themes. We are lucky to have talent across all our disciplines that collaborate to give South
This is a cool song.
such a unique personality. We hope you
I don't know what
enjoy
you call
this
that
deep dive
guitar,
into
but I
South
really
of
kind of
Midnight.
like that
We're
style.
thrilled to announce that the game will launch on April 8th, and pre-orders are
Ooh.
now available on Xbox and Steam.
Adrian
April
makes a
8th,
kissy
that's
face.
soon. I thought
Several
that was going to be a
devs grin.
summer game.
Title, South
Okay.
of Midnight. Available on Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on April 8th. Pre-order
Nice.
today.
Wow,
On
that's
the
very
Developer
soon.
Direct screen, Sandfall Interactive is circled. A warmly lit foyer is paneled in dark wood. Stained
Okay.
glass windows depict medieval creatures of myth. On a street outside,
Well,
a
we're
man
good
rides
for
a
2 for
bicycle.
2.
Inside, a woman descends the stairs.
I want
A
to play
white
both
man
of
wears a gray
those.
sweater. Guillaume Broche, creative director and co-founder.
I'm trying to remember what this one's going to be.
Everyone. We are Sandfall Interactive, and welcome to our manor.
The sun shines over a courtyard within the manor.
We are a small studio based in Montpellier, France, working on our first game, Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Oh, Expedition.
It's a turn-based
Okay.
RPG set in a fantasy version of late 19th century Belle Epoque France.
Here we are.
Our grand adventure in game development actually started as a solo passion project. I wanted to create something like the JRPGs with turn-based combat I grew up with and loved, but that fully leveraged the latest tech, refreshed the genre with new features, and took place in a compelling world. I knew I needed help to realize my dream. First, I turned to a programmer I knew would get it.
Tom Guillerme.
Guillaume and I started trading ideas right away, and that quickly turned into trading files back and forth. Soon, I was creating the first prototypes of the reactive turn-based system, combining real-time offense and defense element, and a cinematic battle camera system. Things really
Okay,
clicked
so there's
when we
real-time
tested the first version of
elements.
those features. We felt we had something both challenging and fun.
As Tom and I went back and forth and iterated on game elements, a vision started to come together, and I shared it with an old friend from university.
Francois Meurice.
Guillaume and I are both passionate gamers, and when he described the project, I quit my job the following week and joined the team without hesitation. Because I believe that in video games, success always starts with a strong creative vision. And we had that, defined by 3 core elements.
A man fiercely embraces a woman.
A story with great emotional depth, gameplay that innovates on the classics we love,
A quick time prompt.
and a
No quick
world
time.
that is completely original, beautiful, and immersive. We found
They can be
Sandfall
made
Interactive
accessible.
on these tenets. a group of friends
Look
with
at
a shared
as
vision
dusk falls.
and the drive to make something great.
A bearded man wears a gold armband embroidered with the number 33.
This too is your legacy.
Jennifer Svedberg Yen, lead writer and voice producer.
Core to every great RPG is a compelling story. And Guillaume and I spent 4 years intensively developing and refining ours. And that started with the hook. 67 years ago, a massive slumbering paintress and a monolith appeared with no warning. Once a year, the paintress wakes and paints a number on her monolith, and everyone who has passed that age is erased. Every year that number ticks down, and everyone dies younger and younger. Expeditions depart to kill the paintress, determined to fight until their final breath, but none have ever returned. Our story follows Expedition 33.
A woman in a ruffled blouse stands at a podium on a wooden dock.
Expedition.
It's like Logan's Run, but more twisted.
We honor your dedication.
Guillaume and I knew early on that we didn't want to focus on good versus evil. What's interesting to us are people who, yes, are flawed, but who care deeply about each other. And conflicts arise because they have different perspectives on what needs to be done.
I'm sorry about Adia.
We wanted our story to feel dark and mature, with adult characters who feel like real people with real experiences.
Don't be dark just for the sake of being dark. That's the thing, though.
The heart of the story is
Sounds
about
intriguing,
overcoming
though.
an existential threat while struggling with loss and grief. And it's rooted in the characters' relationships, both to each other and to themselves.
Pretty damn good looking graphics, I'll say.
Tell me, what are we gonna do?
In a world like this, how does one stay hopeful or make peace with their fate? What duty do we owe to each other or to ourselves? These questions are deeply personal to me, and they permeate the story behind the story.
Know that Lumiere fights with you. Tomorrow comes Expedition 33.
The characters all have their own motivations and perspectives. Gustave and Lune are deeply invested in the expedition, even if they fight all the time. To them, the mission is tied not only to their family, it's central
A lot
to
of
their
things that look
identity
like
and purpose.
cutscene in this one.
Protocol doesn't cover every contingency.
There was some gameplay, but
You know that.
Contrast that with Ciel, whose darkest days have already happened.
What are the stars whispering to you? Actually, I'm the one whispering to them. It's something my dad and I used to do.
And Maëlle, who cares more about really living her life, not just living longer.
Gustave, are you real?
A teen girl tenses.
It's not all dark, though. Along the way, they meet various colorful NPCs and recruit Monoko, who is a friendly but kinda bloodthirsty philosopher and a fully playable character. He has a really cool battle mechanic where he can turn into the enemies he defeats.
What are you doing?
Just need the foot. Aha!
The philosopher transforms into a stony monster.
He's very, very old and has seen many expeditions come and go. He is a Jest Troll, which are a group of playful beings who view battle as a form of meditation. They're fun and sort of ridiculous.
Okay.
Monoko and many other Jest Trolls across the game.
I wonder how easy this is going to be able to
course, there is
see
Escape,
in combat.
who is one of the oldest and lore-wise the most powerful
Especially
creatures in
during
the
turn-based, you think this
Escape
could be
is
made
that
more
powerful.
accessible, easier.
He will be your mount and help you travel to secret corners of the world.
He flaps his arms to fly.
If you bring him back his special stones, you can unlock abilities for him to access new areas of the world and find exciting secrets.
I'm strong, but I'm not that strong.
Everyone has their own reason for joining the expedition, and each of them has their own story arc and resolution that we think players will really connect with.
Michel Nora, lead game designer.
In addition to a strong narrative, we had a clear vision for our own take on the genre's core gameplay. Our reactive turn-based system takes the traditional turn-based battle mechanic we love and adds real-time reaction,
QuickTime events with precision windows.
which gives
Oh
combat
boy.
intensity and
Okay.
dynamics.
Okay,
During
the
enemy
quick
turns,
timings
you can
are...
negate all damage by dodging or parrying at
They
the right
appear
time.
at different parts of the screen.
The balancing turn-based with
So if they had
real-time
text-to-speech
mechanics took a long
announcing
time to get
them,
right. During initial playtests, turn-based
could be
players often
doable.
found the real-time elements too hard. Some of us are still traumatized by enemies from back then. We've done a lot of rebalancing since, and with a lot of iteration, we ultimately came up with a formula that we're proud of. Players who are good at real-time can take more risks, and others can counterbalance with items and strategies.
Okay.
A big part of that formula lies in the many ways you can customize your character.
Skill trees galore.
Skill tree is shown for the character Maël.
We spend a lot of time designing each character's unique mechanics and their custom skill trees. Our philosophy is making every type of playstyle viable. So that
Yeah, this is a game where I
without
definitely want menu narration
Each
and
character has a
text-to-speech.
unique mechanic. Maël switches between stances, which can ultimately boost defense or power.
Without it, I don't think I'm
personally
going to play
make
this
Maël the
one.
protector of the group, but I'm pretty much
Especially with all
one of
those
the
quick
studio who
time
plays her that way.
events.
Most people play her as a glass cannon with Gustav's complementary skills.
So hopefully...
The characters can also equip hundreds of passive
Oh
effects,
dear
which in
God.
our game are called Lumina.
That is a shit ton of
Every
text.
character has more than 20 unique skills in their skill tree and
Yeah.
hundreds of passive effects. They can gain through Lumina and weapons.
Yeah, if there's no menu narration in this, I will not be playing this one. I will be watching this, if anything, on somebody else's playthrough, because I'm not reading all
A
that.
woman leaps into the air and performs a diving strike at an évêque, her hands glowing with green energy. Nicolas Maxon Francombe, art director.
Our story is set in the French fantasy world, and I was really excited to design something unique.
Long-limbed creatures.
Every level has its own color and texture identity. For example, the Gestrel Village is an early area in the game where players can enjoy a fun break. We wanted something that feels chaotic, grungy, and toy-like. It's basically a bazaar. Everything's disorganized, chaos everywhere, huts are unsafe, built without much thought. It's a place where anyone could fight you at any point, which is pretty much what the Gestrels are like.
Subtitles.
When the sun rises, the plants bloom.
The Gestrel Village is hidden inside the ancient sanctuary. The ideas here were forest, labyrinth, and sentinels. I designed it as a vibrant place, like an old graveyard of Gestrels.
The
with forgotten wooden
setting,
toys in
the
box,
characters, the
with two main
graphics,
colors,
presentation all
red and
look
white.
good.
I wanted to make it feel cozy, hidden from
But
danger.
I have my
with traps and
reservations
labyrinths
unless
in
there's a
case
lot of
enemies
menu
get in.
narration and things to
Same process with
help.
the characters. Minoko came in a single concept. I thought of a monkey-like body, white fur with a black and red flat mask.
Ladies.
Ow!
Definitely a Gestrel.
For Eske, we needed a cuddly companion to take us around the world. I thought instantly of a giant inflatable balloon and old Victorian pillows with many intricate motifs. We start with the core themes and ideas, and the visuals grow organically from there.
A crowd looks at the painter.
From the very start of the project,
It's
there was
unique,
one
I'll give
thing
it
we
that.
absolutely wanted to bring back from older JRPGs. A feature we really loved, but is very rare these days. A completely 3D and navigable world map. Yes, we've got a world map. And it was a real challenge to create, both artistically and technically. And it ended up a lot bigger than we expected. You'll definitely need Eske's help traveling around. We're super happy with the result, though, as there's a lot of
Yeah,
side
it's
paths
so
and entire
detailed that
hidden
it's,
levels.
I
If
don't
you
know,
want
I
to
mean,
fight
it'd
the
be
toughest
interesting
bosses
to
of the game,
see.
you will have to explore. Good luck.
I wonder how
Tom
accessible this
grins.
will
The
be,
player
even
fights
as a
an
low-vision
évêque,
player.
Bougeon, and a Sprong.
We've poured our hearts and souls into this game.
It's got
for the
potential.
past 4 years. That's why we're delighted to announce that Expedition 33 launches on April 24th on
Holy
Xbox Series
crap.
X and S and is available day one with Xbox Game Pass. You can already wishlist the game and
April?
follow us for more info.
We are super excited.
When the
to invite
hell
you
are we
to
going to
the
have
world of
time to
Expedition
play all
33.
these long
We are a
games?
small, passionate team. It's our debut game, and we can't wait for you to discover
It's a
our
good
story,
problem to
our
have.
world, and our take on the turn-based genre. On behalf of everyone at Sunfall, thank you for joining us.
But we're going to have Kingdom Come 2 early February. Avowed.
Tomorrow comes.
Title:
South of
Claire
Midnight,
Obscure,
and now
Expedition
this
33,
in like the next
available on Game Pass,
3
Xbox
months.
Series X and S, PC, and PS5 on April 24th.
And way
Wishlist
more.
today.
And way more that
Developer
for
Direct
multi-platform.
screen, id Software is circled.
Ooh, here's what I've been
In
waiting
an
for.
office, an artist draws on a tablet while a plastic skull sits nearby. A smiling developer plays a demo
Show
while a
me
small
Doom.
group watches. Two men stand in a lobby. Marty Stratton, executive producer, and Hugo Martin, game director.
Doom
Hello,
Slayer.
and welcome to Dallas, Texas, home of id Software, where more than 30 years ago, a small team of game developers helped define and set a course for first-person shooters. A lot has changed since then, but our team is as passionate as ever. And the most important values at the core of our games, innovation, craftsmanship, and performance, remain a priority for us to this day.
Hugo.
And as you're about to see, those values are infused in every aspect of this latest installment in the legendary Doom franchise. It is an honor to work on this game, to carry on id's tradition of creating all-out, groundbreaking levels of fun.
So now, we're excited to share with you a look at our most ambitious game yet. This is Doom: The Dark Ages.
That was so stupid I mouthed the words.
Marty doubles over in laughter. On a platform, the Slayer whips out a spiked flail.
Ooh.
The Slayer kicks a Baron off a ledge, then decapitates a Revenant with his chainsaw-edged shield. He leaps onto an aerial vehicle, fur cape billowing.
In Doom: The Dark Ages, you will feel like the superweapon in the center of a medieval war against hell. Set in a cinematic sci-fi fantasy world full of locations to explore, powerful weapons to unlock, and enemies to conquer.
What gun is that?
This is a prequel to Doom 2016, and that's given us the opportunity to reimagine.
So it tells how he got into his sarcophagus at the beginning?
If you're new to the franchise, then Doom: The Dark Ages will be the perfect entry point into the series. And if you're a longtime fan, then you'll be proud to see, in a lot of ways, the feel of the game is really a return to form.
Mankibai.
So let's break it down, starting with the combat.
Cover art for Doom Eternal.
In Doom Eternal, you felt like a fighter jet. In Doom: The Dark Ages, you'll be an iron tank. Heavy, strong, but still fast.
Now we're talking.
Combat system with an emphasis on power over the acrobatics of Doom Eternal.
Okay, you're speaking my language already.
And a balance between enemy projectiles
Oh,
and
this
player
looks
movement
fucking
speed
great.
that makes strafing to aim viable again, just like in the classic Doom games.
Excellent.
But it's not all about nostalgia. Innovation is the goal, always. And so for Doom: The Dark Ages, it's an all-new world with new tools and new mechanics to master. Let me introduce you to the Shield Saw. Block. Throw. Parry. Deflect. All from one input. It's contextual. Tons of depth on a single button press. You know, we want every Doom
I
game
love
to stand
everything
on
I'm
its own as a
seeing
unique
here.
experience. So in 2016, we asked you to run and gun. In Doom Eternal, it was jump and shoot. And in Doom: The Dark Ages, you're gonna stand and fight.
The Slayer carries an axe thrown by a Hell Knight, then throws the shield
Screw that
saw at it
platforming
like a
nonsense.
disc. After slicing off its arms, he performs a finisher.
And the Shield Saw will give you the strength to go head-to-head with some of the biggest, baddest demons we've ever created at id.
A demon resembles an Arachnotron.
But that's not
Oh,
all.
yeah, it
Because if
does.
you're gonna stand and fight, then you gotta have something to follow up that opening parry with. How about an iron flail?
Hell yeah.
Or maybe an electrified gauntlet. Or even a Doom spiked mace. That's right, we have 3 melee options that are part of a melee
This is
system.
sick.
All on one input, complete with combos and upgrades. And it's totally awesome. And you can finish off the demons now with an all-new, unsynced, completely in the player's control glory kill system. From
Ooh.
any angle, in and out, as you see fit. And it feels amazing. You'll feel unstoppable, smashing your way through the horde with total freedom.
This
And that
looks
seems like a ton,
insane.
but that's just 2 inputs. We got one more really important button that we haven't talked about yet. The trigger.
The Slayer fires a full-auto
Yep.
shotgun that grinds up skulls to use the shards as projectiles.
What?
That's right, we've saved the best
Oh.
for last. Doom has and always will be all about the guns. And Dark Ages has some of the most ridiculously powerful weapons that we've ever
A
created.
twin-barreled weapon fires rapidly
hell is
alternating
that?
bolts of electricity.
Mean. Ancient. Brutal torture machines built to butcher, impale, and shred the minions of hell with.
He finishes a Mancubus.
Only in Doom. That's the
Oh.
mission statement for the design of these never-before-seen, insanely fun-to-use tools of mayhem that only the Slayer has the power to wield. So let's take a look at some extended gameplay footage.
Hell
and
yeah.
see how these medieval mechanics synergize with the enemies and the environments to form the new combat loop for Doom: The Dark Ages.
At night, a crumbling stone city is dotted with flames. The Slayer runs along a cracked street. Gameplay, first-person melee and shooter. He fires an automatic particle accelerator gun at Hell Knights and shield-bearing
Yeah, there's a Hell
enemies.
Knight.
A Hell Knight leaps, and the Slayer parries to cause an ammo
Ooh,
drop.
he's gone.
The Slayer leaps over a long gap, throws his shield saw, then teleports to its location with a contextual prompt to complete the jump.
Ooh. Okay, knocking back
Quadrupedal demon with a
projectiles.
buzzsaw for a face fires slow-moving projectiles. The Slayer parries a green one. He tosses the shield saw at a row of shield-bearing enemies to extract armor. He then parries a projectile back at another demon, ending it.
Holy shit, this looks good.
He fires the skull shotgun at a mancubus. Marty.
And under the hood, for the first time in an id game, we've made our combat more approachable and flexible than ever before, with a new difficulty system and sliders that will allow players to tune the speed and challenge of the game to whatever fits them
So it's
best.
not just easy, normal, and
Slow things
hard.
down or speed them up.
Okay.
It's a Doom for all Slayers.
And the gameplay doesn't end with just the Slayer.
What?
We finally have for you, you've been waiting for 2 games now, to get in and pilot your very own 30-story Atlan, which is a mech.
Oh,
It's
I
the
did,
size
yeah.
of a building. It's powerful, and you can beat giant Titan-sized demons to death with your gauntleted fists. And if that wasn't enough, we also have for you your very own fire-breathing, Gatling gun-toting cybernetic dragon. Neither of these are one-and-done features either. They have a full suite of abilities and even mini-bosses. The spectacle is epic. The Power Fantasy is unlike anything we've made it in. And the combat systems behind these features are deep and tons of...
In the Atlan, twin multi-barreled machine guns.
And as cool as all that is, we know that fans of single-player action games expect more than just great combat to pull them through the experience. So we're excited to share with you not just the gunplay, but the world of Doom: The Dark Ages.
Okay.
Your hero's journey will take you to the far reaches of the Doom universe. Mysterious worlds from the Slayer's past, dark forests, dungeons, ancient hellscapes, battlefields, and worlds beyond. And through exploration, you'll be unlocking new abilities and godlike powers every step of the way. Now armed with your trusty shield saw, you're gonna cut, leap, and smash your way through environments full of secrets and treasures. There's always something new waiting to be discovered or destroyed. Now let's take a closer look at just one of the many missions you'll experience in Doom: The Dark Ages.
Okay.
In this level, you will meet the enemy at the gates and save a city from certain destruction. Explore the medieval battlefield outside the castle walls, seeking out targets and enemy formations along the way to engage with as you see fit, with any gun you choose.
On an open battlefield, the Slayer fires javelin spikes.
This looks amazing.
Explore what is the largest play space ever in a Doom game, discovering secret caves and dungeon-like mines in search of vital resources. You control the pace of the game.
I wonder if they're going to say anything about the Elder Scrolls remaster that people are talking about. But
Objectives you pursue.
He picks up an artifact.
It's a Doom sandbox full of war and riches.
oh, that was a skull, I
Once
think.
you've broken the enemy assault, head back to the main gates because the battle isn't over yet.
Oh, they're a big
A
in.
gigantic clawed hand reaches up through a crack in the earth.
Holy
a metal armored
crap.
demon resembling a tyrant pulls itself up. The Slayer stares it down. In the id office, a dev dons headphones.
And the soundtrack to your epic adventures will be composed by the award-winning team at Finishing Move, providing you with a metal soundscape that's loaded with guitars, medieval vibes, and pure adrenaline. You'll feel like you're expanding the legend of the Slayer with every mission you complete.
Text appears. Story.
And speaking of that legend, the story of Doom: The Dark Ages, like everything else in the game, is big. It's a summer blockbuster event with everything on the line.
Summer.
And you are the star of the show.
Yeah, but I bet it's going to be that June 15th.
And withheld from your
Can we get a demo ahead of
The Slayer
time?
imprisoned at the start of our story.
I need to play
The
this
balance of
yesterday.
power between good and evil is shifting, and time is running out. It's a new story and the perfect entry point for new players. It's easier to access now as we've taken the narrative out of the codex and into the cutscenes, featuring new characters, old allies, and powerful new villains. And for returning players, it leads directly into the Doom 2016 Slayer's Testaments. It's an action story worthy of the Slayer's legend.
Through his helmet's visor, the Slayer's eyes spark yellow. Marty walks alongside Hugo down a hall.
We've got 10 years of making modern Doom games together. And
Sure
we've
do.
done better with every game we've made.
The hope with all this, the goal, is to give players an experience that's as fun to play as it was to make. And make something that's good enough to become the best game id has ever made.
But that is for you to decide. When Doom the Dark Ages releases...
They
May.
arrive in a room packed with dozens of people who all applaud.
Yes.
Title, Doom the Dark Ages. Available on Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PS5 on May 15th. Pre-order
May
today.
15th.
On the Developer Direct screen, the Xbox logo expands to fill the view. A cursor clicks a play icon. A clapperboard snaps. Farah smiles nervously. I cannot move. Marty and Hugo fight back laughter.
Okay.
Title, Doom the Dark Ages, May 15th.
You will feel like the superweapon in the center of a medieval war against
That mace.
South of Midnight, April 8th.
All of Hazel's powers are designed around textile crafting and spinning wheels. The combat system is built around chaining attacks.
Expedition 33, April 24th.
Our reactive turn-based system has a real-time reaction, which gives combat greater intensity and dynamism.
Ninja Gaiden 4, Fall, subtitles.
Yakumo will overcome thrilling challenges using ninja techniques, including familiar combat skills from the series, ninja tools, and more. I can't wait for you to play the new evolution of Ninja Gaiden.
Yakumo lands heavily. Hazel weaves. Text appears. New adventures, new stories, new worlds, all with Game Pass.
Wow.
A dev juggles in a hallway. Another pets a dog. A third holds up a peace sign. Text. Thanks for watching. Audio description provided by Descriptive Video Works. Written by Janissary and narrated by Steve Saylor and Janissary.
Yay. Good job, guys. Okay. I gotta digest that for a second, but damn, son. So, yeah, thoughts? I totally forgot to mention before the event that, everyone was thinking there would be an Elder Scrolls Oblivion remaster announcement, because it seems like it's more and more inevitable or something like that. And that could be something they announce over the summer. But God, if they do that, the number of RPGs alone, or just super meaty games, like I said, they didn't even show Avowed. South of Midnight's going to be a long one, I bet. Expedition 33, RPGs are typically longer. Ninja Gaiden, yeah, I don't know why I didn't even think of Ninja Gaiden, because before the stream, we're like, what are we gonna, what Japanese game were they gonna tease, or were they gonna show? So, like I said, we're getting 3 Ninja Gaiden games. I can literally go download Ninja Gaiden 2 Black today on Game Pass. There's that 2D Ninja Gaiden that I don't remember if they gave a release date for it, but there's a 2D Ninja Gaiden coming at some point. And now we have Ninja Gaiden 4 sometime this fall. Wow. Okay. Yeah, Year of the Ninja indeed. And not that it wasn't part of the Xbox thing, but a couple days ago, I remember seeing Ninja 5.0, which is a really cool, kind of the people who played it loved it, me included. But Ninja 5.0 Game Boy Advance game is coming to modern platforms in February, I believe. So that's another 2D Ninja game. So yeah, we're getting some, and I think there's, they said there was going to be some sort of Ninja Turtles RPG thingy, and I don't know if there's going to be like, there's still that Last Ronin game. I doubt that's out this year, but who knows? But yeah, we got a lot of ninja action going. South of Midnight, I thought that was going to be sometime this summer, like July, August. But no, April. It looks cool. I definitely will try it out, for sure. Kind of got some action, got some story, some platforming, puzzles, your third-person adventure. Expedition 33. Like I said, I'm intrigued about the story. The presentation looks great. But the quick time battles and the huge number of like skill trees and menus and abilities and items that it seems like, you know, we were seeing some of the screenshots or some of the menus and stuff in that. And I don't know, man, if it's self-voiced or if it's menu narration and UI narration, it could work. I mean, like I said, look at how well As Dusk Falls did. And the QuickTime events were accessible. They work great. I think when I played through the game the first time, I didn't miss a single one. It's because they were accessible. So that one is probably my least anticipated, but you know, if it's on Game Pass and if I hear anything about accessibility, I may check it out. The other thing that concerns me about Ninja Gaiden, I mean, again, the difficulty is going to be probably ridiculous, but the thing that concerns me, they mentioned verticality a few times, and even in the original games, I beat Ninja Gaiden 1 on the original Xbox. I beat that on my own. My couple friends and I, when I was in Florida, we played through Ninja Gaiden 2. And there were a few battles in there that I kind of had a little bit of trouble with, but the main thing I remember about that game, other than it being really hard, is that right before like the second, I think it was like the second to last boss battle, was one of the times that my Xbox 360 shit itself and red ringed. So that was fun. But yeah, I mean, Ninja Gaiden, looking forward to that. Doom: The Dark Ages, though, holy hell, I gotta watch some of that footage again. Like, I can't even remember what all the melee weapons were. They said like 3 melee weapons, guns, that sick shield that you can block and parry projectile attacks, and like you can like shoot it out like as a bladed boomerang attack, shield attack thing. It looks like you can shoot it out and then teleport to it to cross bigger gaps. But I mean, yeah, there were longer gaps that you would jump over, but it looked like, I mean, a lot of the footage was, yeah, it was grounded. You know, they said, yeah, Doom Eternal, you were airborne. You were kind of a jet. And in this, you're just like a big freaking tank. And that's totally way more my style. So, yeah, there was just a lot of just really aggressive combat, you know? Jeez, man. That was some cool stuff. That was, yeah, I'm gonna see if there's any, like, uncut, whatever. I'm gonna look for some footage of Doom: The Dark Ages, because, good lord, that looks cool. And I love the fact that they're like, oh, we don't just have a couple of difficulty settings. You can speed it up, slow it down. adjust. It looked like there were all kinds of sliders. I'll have to pause it, watch that again, and I'll have to pause it on that screen just to see what types of, like, all these different customization difficulty settings you can change. So that's great. You can make it as hardcore or easier if you need it to, or again, you know, people have physical or dexterity issues and they need to have things slow it down. Looks like you're going to be able to do that. That's great. And they touched on the music, and like, don't get me wrong, I love Mick Gordon. Doom 2016 soundtrack was awesome. Doom Eternals I liked a lot, but I don't know, I liked some of the songs in Doom 2016. But I wonder, like, this one seems like they're going more back to like a crunchy, just pure metal driving guitar. I mean, we only heard a couple of riffs and things, but it doesn't sound like they're going as much with the, like Mick Gordon kind of had a, what would you even call it? Like a industrial, like it wasn't just metal. It had all these weird sort of like more abstract effects to it. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, there's probably a word, there's probably some genre that I'm just not remembering or not knowing. But, yeah, Doom, the Dark Ages, boy, howdy. As you well know on this channel, I am a big Doom fan. And this looks freaking amazing. So, all the things that Microsoft did not acknowledge on this Direct really kind of leads me to believe that, you know what? Microsoft seems like it's in a pretty damn good place. If half of these games come out and they're really good, if they get a good reception. It's funny because you had, for a few years, Sony was making all these single player games, and now they're pivoting to live service, and Microsoft's like, oh yeah, check this shit out. And we've got single player RPGs, we've got single player action games, we've got you know, third person, first person, and then we got, you know, third parties on that. But like, no, Microsoft's first party stuff is kind of starting to pay off, as I said before the show. You know, there's nothing on Fable, nothing on Perfect Dark, no Forza, no Halo, no Gear. We know there's a Gears, I forget what it's called, like, there's a Gears game in development. We know that. Avowed, maybe. I mean, we know that there's an Elder Scrolls 6. God knows when that'll be out, but not for a while. But, you know, maybe there's this surprise Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake, remaster, or whatever they want to call it. I don't know. But they're looking pretty good. And they're games I want to play. You know, you combine that with all the indies, and again, every one of these you can buy on Game Pass, or you can play on Game Pass. I mean, Doom, I will probably end up just purchasing that because I want that with me, like, everywhere. You know, but we'll see. I can start it with Game Pass, and if I want, I can buy it. I don't know, you know, if the last couple of games were any indication, there's probably going to be DLC for it. No, that looked fantastic, actually. So, yeah, I mean, it's a weird time. You know, I talked about it before the event here, but Nintendo's doing their thing. We're going to learn more about their stuff on April 2nd. Probably going to get some official gameplay stuff there. I'm curious. I would love to see a Mario Odyssey 2, because Mario Odyssey was one of the best 3D Mario games I think I've really played. Like, Mario 64 was great. Sunshine, it had its moments, but probably one of my least favorite. The Galaxy games I loved in theory, but that stupid ass pointer mechanic where you had to like point at the screen and like pull toward these star thingies, it just really didn't prove to be very accessible for me because I had to sit close to the screen. But Mario Odyssey, you know, everyone raved about Zelda, which I totally respect the two modern Zelda games, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but I don't know, they're just not doing it for me. Like, there's just, I kind of tend to like my more traditional Zelda. I would love to see a Zelda that is like, that gives you like the Link Between Worlds, where you could choose your dungeons in any order, and you could buy the, you know, the weapons that you wanted and that. I would love to see that kind of a thing where you didn't have to worry about the crafting and the cooking, but you kind of straddle the line of like, you go through your dungeons and use your key effects and things, or your items and things, but I kind of like more the classic Zelda style, but like I fell hard for Mario Odyssey. I played the crap out of that at the end of that year. So we got Nintendo doing their thing. I don't know what Sony's got this year. I mean, I'm sure there are things I'm just not thinking of, but, you know, and I'm sure we'll find out more this summer during the Summer Game Fest. I'm sure they'll probably have some sort of a winter, spring state of play. We'll see. But no, Microsoft, good job, guys. This really helps because they were floundering a lot lately. You know, there's mixed messages, and they buy out Activision Blizzard, and then they lay a bunch of people off and close studios, and it just messaging, you know, like, why should I own an Xbox when, you know, when you're trying to bring your games to everything else. It's just, they haven't had a lot of good PR lately, but if some of these games in today's stream and in the other, the ones that we know are coming that I talked about earlier, if half of these are really good, Microsoft might be all right. So with that, we're going to wrap it up here. I will just upload this as a bonus video for you guys. I'll be back on Saturday with something per usual, so we'll wrap it up here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a like if you did. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, Blue Sky at Illegally Cited, twitch.tv/illegally cited, illegally-cited.com, and right here on YouTube. Until next time, I will chat with everybody again later.